Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. We have no choice. We have no choice.
A lot of people on social media said, what the hell is he talking about? Donald Trump's proposal to ban Muslims from entering the country was met with anger from his fellow Republicans and everyday Americans. But the outcry has been the loudest from the Muslim community itself. Joining us live in the Good Day Chicago studio is Ahmed Rehab, Executive Director of CAIR-Chicago. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Your reaction to what Donald Trump had to say about Muslims being banned from the country.
There's been a lot of things said on social media, and I think the best tweet that I've come across so far reads something like, the U.S. has had enough problems without publicity seekers going out and openly mocking religion in order to provoke attacks and death. Be smart. You know who wrote that tweet? Donald J. Trump 4 months ago.
Did it help, but did that hurt you at your core to hear him say it's time to cut off no more Muslims allowed in the country until we figure out what's going on?
You know, the way I look at him and the way he's been progressing, he doesn't seem serious about this campaign. He seems to be just tapping into whatever fear exists out there, exploiting people's legitimate fears and sometimes ignorance and hatred in order to get votes, in order to get, ahead in the polls.
Ahmed, but while most Americans, of course, disagree with Donald Trump's comments, he still seems to have a bump in his poll numbers when he makes comments like this. How do you address that, and of course, and how do you try to tackle the problem?
By reminding people that the problem with Islamophobia, it's not just that it's offensive or it's bigotry or it's hatred or it's something that offends me as a Muslim, etc., but that it's stupid. Let me give you an example. 100%, according to statistics, of people who commit crime in America are human. Now, what would Donald Trump do with that? He would say, ban humans from entering the United States. You can see how stupid that logic is. Less than 1% of those who commit murder in America are Muslim, yet he wants to ban all Muslims from entering the United States of America.
But you speak of that fear and that anxiety, of course, that exists among so many Americans. Yesterday, D.C. and California had to, your offices had to be evacuated because, of course, a letter with some white powder was found. Is it getting to the point where you are afraid of going to work, of walking around the streets of Chicago or other Muslims?
There are real consequences to the kind of bigotry that Donald Trump and others put out there. Real attacks occur. Women in hijab who wear the headscarf are afraid to go out of their homes, and sometimes they're targeted just because of their appearance. Young girls in school, we have cases of people being put in headlocks or beaten up. Grocery shop owners, one of the Muslim leaders had a brick thrown through his home last night.
A pig at a mosque in Philadelphia?
Pig head at a mosque. So these types of, we see an uptick of these types of criminal activities and hate acts as a result or in the aftermath of comments made not just by Donald J. Trump, but others who are in the race in the Republican primary, unfortunately, who also pander to the hate against Muslims in this country.
Ahmed, the FBI is reporting that overall hate crimes in this country down, but it's rising among, of course, the Muslim community. How do you get that message out to people to just stop, to just go over, have a conversation with someone that's Muslim and see what's really going on?
Well, the answer is to understand who Muslims really are and to understand the difference between Islam and Muslims and then terrorism on the other hand. We all know baseball. We know that a baseball bat is used to hit a ball and bring joy to the fans. But we know that a baseball bat in the wrong hands can be used to whack somebody's kneecaps. The problem then is not the baseball bat, it's the wrong hands. Similarly, it's not Islam that's the problem, it's the terrorists and the extremists who abuse Islam.
Ahmed Rehab, thank you so much for joining us from CAIR this afternoon.
It's a
we
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.